Sure.
If the Congress passes that bill and it does not include the grandfather provision, would you recommend to the President that he signs the bill?
I can't, again, I do have I know in my heart what my answer to that question is, but it's improper for me to say, express my own opinion on it. So I'll refrain from doing so.
Okay, I'll let you off for now.
Okay. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, let me, you mentioned 5 concerns when you were asked to draft the bill. And one of them was that the bill had to maximize opportunities for economic growth. Can you just talk about how that bill would do that?
Sure. And thank you for the question, because I think, we haven't talked enough about all the other provisions of the bill. First of all, on the subject of tourism, I heard time and time again that we have to keep our access to our markets, our tourism markets open. So what the bill does is create a special visa waiver, and any country that has provided tourists to the CNMI in the last 5 years, the Secretary of Homeland Security has to give them appropriate consideration to include on the visa waiver provision. That means, of course, that people from those countries can travel to the CNMI without having to apply for a visa, and that's very important. So, China, Russia, all these people, all these places. Now, it does not guarantee that the Secretary of Homeland Security will say, yes, you can come in from China without a visa, yes, you can come in from Russia. But in the bill, we've done our best to make it as easy as possible for the Secretary of Homeland Security to say yes. People from China can come in, people from Russia can come in. Still, Secretary of Homeland Security is going to have to make the final say and say, look, we're just not comfortable with people coming in from this country without a visa. There's too many asylum applicants, too many overstays, too many crime issues. It's going to be up to the Secretary of Homeland Security, and frankly, that's the way it has to be. So we're doing that. The visa waivers for 15 days, but in this second draft of the bill, we've combined the visa waiver program for the CNMI with a visa waiver program for Guam, and you can stay up to 21 days if you have a joint in any one place, and 30 days total. So we've done our best to keep the doors open to tourists and make it as easy as possible for tourists to come here. For outside labor, because obviously business might still need to bring in people from the outside, we take the existing guest worker program and put the federal government in charge, and we phase that out over 10 years. However, and then the federal government is specifically directed to phase it out in a way that provides maximum opportunities for locals. However, if the Secretary of Labor finds, after the governor requests it, that they need to extend it longer because they don't have enough workers, in spite of all of the efforts to make sure that locals get jobs, then they can extend it out indefinitely. Also, the federal employment visa program, there are no caps. See, if you want to go to the United States, the mainland, if you're a skilled worker and you want to just work, for a few years, you have to get an H-1 visa. If you're an unskilled worker, you have to get an H-2 visa. So there are these visas, but they're subject to caps. So all these skilled workers, if you want to go to the U.S., you have to, there's very limited opportunity to do that. In the CNMI, what this bill says is, from day one, if you're, a skilled H-1 worker, let's say you want to bring in computer programmers, you can come in, no caps. The Silicon Valley would kill to have a provision like that, and that provides a real opportunity for the CNMI to perhaps attract, a high-tech, knowledge-based economy, because it'll have special flexibility to let in all the computer programmers or scientists or engineers or researchers at once. Unskilled labor, same thing. no caps. But no caps doesn't mean that you can just let people in without regard for what effect it will have on employment opportunities for the locals. See, it says, so you have to go through a process where you say, yes, these workers are really needed and they will not be taking jobs away from the locals, and if that condition is satisfied, then the people can come in with no caps. And that's a flexibility we don't provide any other place in America. Under this bill, that flexibility, that benefit would be provided to the CNMI. And finally, the bill itself, in its statement of intent, commands the federal agencies that are implementing this, so my department, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Labor, when they set up the regulations and the policies, we are commanded to be as flexible as possible so as to allow the CNMI maximum opportunity for economic development. So, and especially what they say is tourism. Oh wait, we have another question. Well, just wait, I'll finish this question, sir, and then I'll take your question right after that. But maximum, so we are, and that's a statement of Congress, and people can say, oh, that's just a statement of intent. But that is very serious, because, then the CNMI could sue, if we're not following that statement of intent and say, you're not following the statute. So those are just some of the things that the bill does to help the CNMI in terms of economic growth. One more thing I forgot. It commands my agency, the Department of the Interior, to provide technical assistance to help diversify the economy of the CNMI, encourage economic growth, and encourage employment opportunities for the locals. So that's what we've tried to do to make this bill beneficial to the CNMI economy.